You can totally lose weight no matter your genetics. It might be hard to believe at first sight, but I want to show you why there are so many misconceptions about bad or fat genes and how you can do something about it. Our genes carry information down from one generation to the next. Research shows that we inherit about 30 to 60% of our personality from previous generations, which is really wild to think about. When we think about our genetics, we also have to recognize the huge role our environment plays on how those genes show themselves. I want you to think of our genes like seeds planted underground. It is the environmental conditions that dictate the future life cycle of those seeds. Let's say you have a drought, you're not going to see your garden grow, whereas if you have a lot of rain, then you might have a rainforest on your hands. So while genetics may play a role in determining our weight, it's not the whole story. While not discounting the role that genetics may play, leaning on the story that the obesity epidemic is 100% related to it is ultimately doing us a huge disservice and is taking away our personal responsibility. Our genetics have barely shifted, if at all, over the last 50 years, yet our obesity rates have tripled over the same time period. Our genetic changes occur too slowly to be fully responsible for what's happening to our bodies. The significant shifts of our behavior, mindset, lifestyle, environment, and societal agendas have been the primary trigger of our weight gain. I want you to know that you can overcome the story of your genetics. I'm gonna tell you a personal story about my husband's journey to overcoming his bad genetics. He comes from a family who struggles with morbid obesity on both sides of his family. That means that his parents have always struggled with their weight, and so does a sibling. They all are currently or once were carrying over 100 pounds of excess fat weight. And it wasn't because of lack of education or know-how. However, I would argue that part of it was lack of the right education at first. His dad was a cardiothoracic surgeon and his mom a nurse. But despite this, weight was a constant battle in their family. His folks fed him everything that was fat-free because at the time, that's what we were told to eat. He was always chubby, and kids made fun of him, calling him Dougie Wuggy, fatso chubby. Kids are so mean, and he hated it. He told himself that he would overcome that story. He maintained a leaner weight than all of his family just by pure dedication and commitment to his body. He made physical activity a part of who he was and white-knuckled against his propensity to binge eat for years. Once I started to put together the PhD approach, we implemented it into our own lifestyle, and he was able to liberate himself even more from the ties of food. He shifted what he ate and when he ate and was able to let go of the 30 pounds that was plaguing him despite exercising like crazy. And I mean like riding his bike over 250 miles a week. He was able to exercise less and in more functional ways, be less hungry, significantly reduces cravings, hunger, and binge eating episodes. Today, he's 45 years old with more muscle and less body fat than ever. I'm not saying that it has been an easy journey for him at all, but he takes personal responsibility for his body and his behaviors. And I will tell you that his health is much more enjoyable as a result. He's got no excuses. He doesn't let genetics be a story that holds him back, and it doesn't have to be a story that holds you back either. Let me share a few solutions to these roadblocks. Number one, you've got to change your story. Understand that your story doesn't have to be the same as your parents or their parents. It's up to you to create your own story, and you can change it if you want to. Two, understand that your way of eating will likely look different than those who are naturally lean. If you eat like a naturally lean person eats, you won't have the same results. But realize that that is okay. It's not unfair, it's just the way that it is. My kids' teachers tell them, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I think the same thing goes here. Three, if you find yourself feeling down about your situation, I want you to practice gratitude. What are you grateful for about your body? What has it done for you lately? I mean, it could be just as simple as you getting up out of bed in the morning. Pull out the good things and be grateful for them. Flood yourself with these items, write them down, and in time, you'll find that there are more and more things you can do to be grateful for. 4, Understand that what you eat is going to be the key to dropping weight, cravings, and binge eating episodes. Likely, you will need to shift your macros, and what I mean by macros are your carbs, protein, and fats. Your carb tolerance level will likely be lower. I want you to aim for about 50 to 80 grams of carbs per day. Your protein intake higher. Aim for about 0.8 grams per pound ideal body weight per day. And your dietary fat intake will fill in the rest. So increase your fat intake if you're hungry and decrease if you want to drop a little bit more weight. Again, this might look different than how your naturally lean neighbor fills his plate. 5. Discipline equals freedom. That comes from Jocko Willink. You've got to be committed and disciplined by how you care for your body. You've got to respect yourself enough to be disciplined. Just like my husband, he's got his non-negotiables. He doesn't eat crap, junk food. He doesn't drink it either. He moves his body every single day and does his best to sleep enough. Every day he says no to the foods that don't love him back, and he's got no excuses or reasons why he procrastinates. The hard work shows, and it totally pays off. If the story of genetics has got you down, the first step is to realize that you can change it. I want you to believe in your heart that this doesn't have to be your story. Feel the feelings of hope, freedom, joy, all those feelings that the healthy weight and healthy body will provide you. Feel those feelings every day as you're dropping that excess fat weight, even during weeks when your weight doesn't change the way you want it to. Make sure you've got a nutritionally sound meal plan that will help all of those cravings go away. It's a really hard journey to white knuckle your weight loss, and it doesn't have to be that way. Weight loss can be pretty simple if you've got the right plan and the right support, which brings me to my last tip. Make sure that you've got a nutritionally sound meal plan that will help all of those cravings go away. It's a really hard journey to white knuckle your weight loss, and it doesn't have to be that way. Weight loss can really be pretty simple if you got the right plan and the right support. By the way, if you feel you need that, reach out to us at PhD and we'll get you on a call with one of our nutritionists. We will actually customize a meal plan just for your needs and send it right to your door. All right, now that you know that your genes won't stop you from losing weight, it's time to concentrate on the aspects that will make the difference, your metabolism. In this next video, you'll learn how to reset your metabolism for a great start of your weight loss adventure and a healthier lifestyle. Let's dive in.